And it's on.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to another scene for the Vampire Venue of Darkness in Dublin. Um, we set ourselves this morning, this afternoon, at the Theatre Royale um, in the Dublin city centre, I believe. Um, two people, two individuals, are looking well. One has asked to speak with the other. And this being one of the two Elysiums in Dublin at the moment. The keeper, of course, is present. Funnily enough, he is the person that Miss Charlotte Monroe of Clan Toreador wishes to speak to. Now, is this business or is this personal? Perhaps it's both. We arrive at the theater. Charlotte pulls up. She's driving herself this evening. She's become more accustomed to this uh, in recent nights, and she has left her ghoul with someone important to her. And she'll pull up to the curb of the theater and park. Probably, maybe no, I'd say maybe a block away. And she'll walk and she'll enter the theater and scan the room for Keeper Rothschild. Where is he?
The keeper currently in the Royale um, is talking to some personnel that are there, trying
Okay,
to oversee something or something that has just been done. Can't
okay,
really tell, but he's talking to them. I wouldn't say
okay.
commanding them around, but technically he is.
Okay, as is his job, I imagine.
Indeed.
So perhaps as he's talking and giving directions to this person or that person, he'll perhaps look up and notice a face he's been seeing quite a lot these nights. Charlotte's dressed rather, I would say, casually for her. I'm actually going to pull up a picture of the outfit she's wearing and I will send it to you, but I will describe it to for the scene. It
For sure.
is um, a she's wearing tight black pants, possibly jeans, perhaps, which is a little out of the way for her. She's not That's not something she wears very often, but it's comfortable. And a black tank top. Oh no, the pants are red. Excuse me. And a black tank top with a black blazer over the top, and she has are those combat boots? Is she wearing combat boots? Um, but she is dressed rather nicely, and I will post the picture to you. Huh. That is
Thank you.
that is what she is wearing. Um, sh for her, that would be considered casual, considering
Right, right.
her normal form of dress.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yep.
yes,
As a expected response, as Alexander is talking to people and he notices someone coming in, he looks at you and he doesn't normally automatically respond with a smile. He has a double take and then he notices who you are.
hmm
Then he reasonably quickly closes off the conversation he was in. He approaches you. He
yes,
does look at you with a frown. He's never seen you so unladylike, so to speak.
yes,
And yeah, he comes over to you. He then, as he is close to you, he will give you a bow and then simply say, Miss Charlotte Monroe, what a unusual surprise.
Yes, Keeper Rothschild. I've just I've just gotten back. We traveled to um, Bucharest last evening, I believe, and
Why would you be in Romania?
we were seeking Lord Aishar's true name, and I believe we have found it. Um,
Oh, right.
so yes,
Very interesting.
we have more information now on him personally that will help us take care of this situation. Um, I'm rather tired. I'm sorry for the casual dress. It's rather comfortable. I've got to say, considering I was expecting a fight last night. She is kind of like insinuating that she's wearing the same thing that she was wearing last night.
Uh huh.
So, like she hasn't changed.
Yeah,
Um,
you can see him look at her with a ponderous look. He probably with his observation can clearly see that either she's been wearing this, she be even be fighting this. And he then takes her hand and smiles at her. And as he does so, he kind of leads her over to one of the side rooms to get her out of the public view
uh-huh.
because it might hurt her reputation if people see her disheveled self in these clothings. So he can get a better notice of what's happening with her at the moment, and he's trying to do it keeping the decorum as normal as possible.
Um, and she'll look at him and she'll smile. Um, and she kind of looks around to see if there's anybody within earshot
Oh,
of.
he'll walk into a side room and
Okay.
he will close the door. It won't be the most. It won't be the room that is least least overheard when you would scream into the room or something like that. So people could listen in from the outside, but
Okay.
it is just a side room for at the moment, just the two of us and maybe a Nosferatu we can't see.
Probably. I'm gonna turn to use my auspex to see if there's an Nosferatu in the room.
What's
uh,
your level of aspects?
3. I
All
have
right.
11,
Then I am
3.
absolutely sure that there is no Nosferatu in the room as far as you can see.
Yeah, as far as I can see.
Yeah.
I mean, Whisper or Prince Hennessy could be in here. We
Oh, there
wouldn't even.
could be a lot of people in here, but we wouldn't know. So,
But it is a small room, and it's likely that if we bumped into them, we would notice. Um,
yeah, it's a room made for a maximum of 5 people. It just has one tiny table in the middle of them, then a circle of chairs.
okay,
It is,
that's.
you can walk around the chairs, but it's not
Mhm.
like you can have an entire dance.
Okay. Um, so when the door shuts, she actually jumps up and hugs him.
All right. He's surprised because he's of course in another role. Then again, they are in a private room, so you can see some hesitation when
Mhm.
she's jumping in him, hugging him. But as soon as
Right.
she hugs him, he's like, okay, she clearly needs comfort. So he'll place one hand around her waist,
Hmm.
and one hand will hang awkwardly at the side because he doesn't know what to do with it.
Okay. So she'll hug him for about 30 seconds. Um, she does notice his kind of hesitation, but she hugs him nonetheless. And after that, she lets go and she says, "God, I was so scared."
Have a seat and tell me the story from the beginning because you are unusually dressed for your normal attendance to Elysium, and you said you've been to Romania, which is
Yes,
something I wasn't aware of. Then again, ah, those things are rarely told to me anyway. So please
yeah.
have a seat. Have a seat.
She'll take a seat, but she'll wait for him to if he sits down, she'll wait for him to sit down first.
Oh, well, actually, in his care or in his way of dealing with her at the moment, he isn't. He is standing until she sits and looks at him, showing him that she's okay.
Um,
So he will actually help her into the chair, not like an old lady, but more like
yeah,
just sit and take a load off
yeah.
and relax. And then he'll take a seat directly opposite of her,
Yeah.
and actually move the chair closer so they can have a softer conversation if necessary. And
Okay.
then he looks in her eyes and says, "Now tell me what's going on, please."
So um, she tells you what happens, or like what happened, with the situation in Romania. They arrived there. Um, they landed at a small airfield. I'm not sure if you watched the scene or not.
No, no, I don't watch the scene. I don't
Okay.
know anything.
So they landed at a small airfield, and they were met by um, a woman. Uh, she's Katya said that it was a Tremere anti-tribute
Hmm.
met us, and apparently Seneschal Beaumont had garnered us safe passage into because we were going deep into Sabbat territory.
I know. That's why the Tremere tribute was there.
Right. And so we got there. The Tribute anti-tribute was there. There were about 20 or so Sabbat, maybe somewhere around in that approximate area.
Oh wow.
And so when we got off the plane, we were welcomed there by I don't remember what her name was. I don't really care. Um, but essentially, we were. It was supposed to be an exchange, and she said that they wanted their property back, and by their property they meant Miss Stevenson.
Oh right, yes, Emily.
Yes, Emily.
I know that she is. She's former Sabat.
The yes, she is was former Sabat.
No, she
Um,
is former Sabat. She's now Camarilla. Never mind. It doesn't really matter.
there's a reason I'm saying was. Um,
Uh oh.
yes, and so apparently she disappeared. I'm not sure. But when she reappeared, she wasn't there. There was a large pile of ash in her place, and I believe that there was a fight between Miss Stevenson and the Tremere anti-tribute, and Miss Stevenson didn't make it through.
Yeah. At that moment, Alexander looks horrified. He really liked Emily.
Uh, and Katja, excuse me, Primogen von Essen is inconsolable at this moment. I do believe that it would have ended in her final death if Amboise had been there, given his previous affiliation.
Right.
Yes. So Miss Stevenson is unfortunately no longer, and I liked her. She was good, and I do believe Seneschal Beaumont is going to be hearing about it quite vehemently from Primogen von Essen.
Yeah. At that
Because
moment, Alexander listens to what Sabat do to those who have escaped them, and he is shocked because, uh, well, considering
now,
his own situation.
no, it's not necessarily the case that she would not have been spared had she returned to the fold with them, but I do believe she may have put up a fight, and that resulted in her final death.
Well, I do assume that it's very normal to put up a fight.
Because the excuse me, the Tremere anti-tribute had bite marks and claw marks all over her face.
Makes sense.
Yes. Um, it's just it's It's a true shame. Um, but yes, we lost Miss Stevenson, but we gained a lot more in the process. But I do believe that the loss was unnecessary.
Or not.
Unfortunately, when the Tremere Anti-Tribune tried to bring Miss Stevenson, or tried to make a deal, I suppose, or to bring Miss Stevenson back to the Sabbat, uh, Mr. Radcliffe was very confident in the fact that it was a good idea to just, you know, hand her back over to them like she was.
Who's Mr. Radcliffe?
I do believe he is one of the new Ventru in the city.
I have not met the young gentleman.
She looks like she kind of finds the idea of him to be despicable.
Oh yeah, but at the moment you can't see any disdain or this feelings of bad towards the man. As Alexander says, it doesn't matter. He's very neutral in this. He's not at all judgmental over the venture.
Ah, yes. Well, Charlotte looks like she's got a bad taste in her
Oh
mouth
yeah,
whenever.
I understand, but I'm just wanting to point out the difference between them.
Um, and so he was just ready to hand her over to them willy nilly,
Hmm.
essentially.
Yeah, I understand.
Um,
Business, I assume.
yes.
Yeah, well, the Ventro are very well known for their business-like
Born in a
way of
boardroom.
dealing with things.
Yes. As I said, born in a boardroom.
Well,
However, um, we managed to mostly make it back without any violence ensuing. Unfortunately, that was the. It was a shame. I do believe that if she had remained here, none of that would have taken place. But I do believe she came to help Katya. Excuse me, Primogen von Essen.
right.
um, and so we left from Bucharest to a very small village. I can't remember the name of it. With no more than maybe 300 people in in the village itself. Um, I do believe Miss Dr. Fletcher and Miss Frost of Clan Tremere, Miss Tina, I think her name is,
Ah, right. Yes.
uh, did some did some research on um, archives for births, deaths, family lines,
Right.
etc.
Right.
Um,
Genealogy.
yes, and to find Lord Aishar's true name, and we came across, well, not we, but I do believe, I'm not actually sure what Ryan's character's name is, so I don't know. So I should just say his name. I personally, as a player, don't know what his character. Found a rather large tome that was wrapped in chains. That was
You,
made from,
you're talking about the necromancer, right?
I think so.
Yeah. I no, I know who you mean. That's just
Um,
Alexander saying. Go
that's
ahead.
that's Alexander saying that he knows who it is.
Yeah.
Um, so um, there was that, and the book I do believe he pulled it out of the Umbra. She looks a little bit confused, like she's not really sure.
Oh,
Um,
at this moment, Alexander is leaning forward,
uh,
trying to make sense of what you're saying, but
yeah,
he's never heard of. He doesn't know any special things about books at this moment or umbras.
yes. It's essentially. my character personally doesn't know much about the occult. I have a single dot in occult, and that's it. But that's
What?
only because she has a Catholic background.
Uh huh. Yeah.
So she knows a little bit about biblical things. Um, and so it was the material that ghosts are made from. It was essentially comprised of that. And so we opened the book up and we read through it. um, Essentially, there was a woman who was Aishar's lover. They were betrothed to one another. Um, she was burned for witchcraft.
I never thought I sure would be romantic. Go on.
She was burned for witchcraft, and he told her that um, he would see her again, essentially, and that he basically wanted to bring the world down to get her back. And he basically lost his mind because he was in love, more or less. Um, there's more to it than that, but that's just a really consolidated or like concentrated version of the issue. Um,
Compacted, you mean? Yeah.
so um, we called her forth using something called a mirror of life, which I do believe allows you to summon wraiths if you have the proper information.
He doesn't know anything about that, so he's just again listening to you saying
There
you've
was
got a
there
special mirror to bring people back. It's just it's
yes, it's yes. Um and I mean, given our existence, I imagine there is the existence of others as well. It simply makes sense. Um so we spoke with her. She confirmed everything, and she said that he had a medallion or a talisman of some kind in the form of a necklace
hmm
that if he doesn't have it, he can't, I guess, do magic as powerfully or something like that.
right.
And this is my character saying that she doesn't really understand the situation fully because she's like, magic, really,
hmm
what?
Right,
Like
right.
she knows Tremere exists, but that's like something
No, no,
in a completely different ball field.
we don't even know what kind of discipline thaumaturgy is at all. So
Yeah. Um, and so um, we got the information. As we were leaving, there was the sound of hunting horns, I think, before we left. I'm not really sure what that was all about. Um, and I've slept since then. But that's why I'm so disheveled at the moment, and I do apologize for that. But this
oh, you don't have to apologize to me. It's just very unlike you, I suppose.
it uh, I was expecting a fight, and I don't like wearing expensive dresses.
Oh, I understand completely.
Um, so her, yeah, she looks fashionable.
I don't even have a fighting uniform or outfit or anything like that.
Yes, I've found it to be practical to wear pants if you're expecting a fight.
Yeah,
Um,
I suppose so. Then again, Romans fought in short skirts.
true,
It's all what you like.
true, but for me, it's more comfortable. It's easy for it's easier to move around in. I think
Sure, sure.
so. Um, but yes, I haven't been able to change yet. I know normally this is not what I wear, and she kind of looks down, and um, you'll notice that her hair is actually in a braid. Um, and
If her hair is in a braid, he'll probably, during the hug, has touched it at least once to understand or to, because he's never seen that before
yeah,
on her.
her hair is in a braid. Um, And it's she's not wearing she's wearing a little bit of makeup and a little bit of perfume, but not much. Um, so she does look rather modest compared to what you're used to. Um, so, um, but yes, I was very concerned about leaving Dublin um, for two reasons. Well, there were multiple reasons, but um, there were two main ones. And she'll kind of pinch the bridge of her nose, and she'll rub her eyes a little bit, like she's kind of tired, like she didn't sleep well last night,
Last day.
last day, yesterday,
Yeah,
and and she'll um uh, but yeah, I told you about the situation with Clan Jameer
yeah, of
looking
course, of course.
looking dead. I was worried that when I came back, you weren't going to be here.
Right. I understand that issue.
Um, I actually had a rather, I suppose, pleasant conversation with Mr. Laveau the other night about this very topic, and she looks rather solemn when she's talking about this, and she'll look up at him, and she'll she'll smile rather softly, and one of the one of the things that worries me the most about the situation with Clan Tremere is I'm terrified. I'm terrified that they are going to use the people that I care about and people that I trust to get to me.
Makes sense.
And I talked with Amwaz, and I felt very vulnerable, which is not, sometimes it's a good thing to feel vulnerable, sometimes it's not, depending on what's making you feel vulnerable.
Yeah, you're not used to this, of course.
No. And so I was scared that when I came back, you and Primogen Noir were not going to be here. There's
What
some
gave you that idea?
um I felt like if I wasn't present here, then that would be a very opportune time to,
To deal with us?
yes, to deal with you. um you remember the last time we saw each other alone, how you wanted me to be honest with you, how you wanted me to tell you how I felt about things.
Of course.
I'm and I hope this doesn't change anything with the two of us, but upon meeting her, I felt a very strong connection to Provision Noir Fleur. Um,
Was
she
this
let
a
she lets me call her that.
normal human connection or was
It's
it blood induced?
it was a normal human connection that we had with one another, but we solidified it.
Right. Okay.
Um, and so, yes, we are bloodbound to one another. Um, and she looks worried, like that's going to change things. with her telling you this?
In his demeanor. Wow, I have to. No, I'm going to roll for this because he's probably hiding it because the place they're in. I'm going to roll subterfuge.
Oh boy, I'm gonna roll against you. I hope you know.
That's okay.
I'm not sure what I would roll. Probably wits plus. I don't know. I don't think empathy maybe.
Uh, I don't have much in that, not big liar. Oh boy, that is two successes only. That's doable.
Yeah, two successes.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's trying to hide something.
He will hide something. Yes. When you figure it out, I'll tell you exactly what he's hiding.
Okay, so I don't necessarily know what that roll would be. Probably wits plus maybe alertness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's 6 dice. I'm gonna burn a willpower for that.
Oh, smartass. You've got
Oh,
one six. No, two six. Oh, one, two. Let's say it's
two six.
difficulty six, not
So
good
that'd be
for my
three
roll.
successes. Then
Yes.
burn the willpower. So yeah, um she'll probably notice that the
Oh yeah.
changing
Uh,
look on
yeah,
his face. I'm gonna
yeah.
roll. I'm gonna use aura perception.
Right. Oh
Uh,
God, get that card
and
again. Try again.
and I'm gonna burn another willpower for that. So that puts me at 4 willpower.
Oh
So
great.
rolling 3d10. So it's difficulty 5.
Uh
I've got 3 successes. What is his aura looking like?
huh.
Let me pull up the colors.
No, no, that's fine. I've just got the colors up here.
I mean,
Uh, there is a mottled shifting colors
uh huh.
that has to do. You can assume with the fact that he felt a connection and she wasn't open about hers in the beginning, which is understandable yet confusing. The other one color is that he's feeling oh, what's the word? I can't see it here. Um, I can't see here what it mean. What I don't see a description for it.
What is the feeling?
Disappointed.
Disappointed. Probably. Um, maybe sad.
Yeah,
Okay,
sad.
sad. She'll she'll look up at him, and she's got tears in her eyes. Like they're not tears of manipulation. They're genuine.
Yeah, he can't see the difference obviously because he's not so eager to burn willpowers and stuff like that. He will look up at her and see her cry and said, "Well, I do appreciate your honesty. It's all fair. The moment you said you were afraid of our lives, I already assumed there was a connection. It's unfortunate that it's an unnatural one. But I do understand. I mean, you find connection with those people you feel towards, and if you want to solidify that, as you say it, then there's nothing really I can do. You are your own person.
Yes, but
As you can clearly see, he's trying to um, turn it more into a business instead of an emotional response. Still there?
yeah, I'm still here. I'm just kind of trying to think about what she would say. Um, she'll look at him And if he'll let her, she will touch his hands.
She can only touch one hand at the moment as she leans closer to touch him. Um, one of his hands will go back to his handkerchief, and he will hand her something for the tears.
And she'll clean up her face. Does this change things?
Has it?
Not for me. Has it changed things for you?
It has opened my eyes and revealed that you are connecting to multiple people. This is not something bad. I just thought I was the owner of your affection, not the sharer of your affection. But there's nothing I can do about it. You've made your choice even before I had a say in this. I have to. And then he hesitates. Live with that. There's nothing really I can do. If it doesn't change anything from your side, well, that's fine, I suppose. Does it change something from my side? I'm not sure yet, to be honest. I'm not sure at all. I'm slightly confused, but it'll wear off. It always wears off.
I don't I don't want it to change things for you or for me. It doesn't change anything for me, for sure. I know that it doesn't help.
Oh, I understand what you're saying. Um, if
It's,
you would allow me, from my own point of view,
of course.
I allowed you in my house. I've allowed you to pour your heart out. You did that, and that made me feel, how would I say, for lack of a better word, special or someone that you could open up to. Clearly, you can do it with multiple people. I think that I shouldn't be jealous about that. That is fine. However, the moment you said that you had solidified it with blood, blood oaths, or whatever you'd like to call it, that changes things. It doesn't change how you would feel about who I am, but it forces me to think about loyalties and trust. Clearly, you felt so close to her that you wanted to share yourself with her, or the other way around. Which means that when the Primogen, or should I say your Primogen, would want to find out anything from me, all she had to do was ask and lean on the connection you have through blood. This is something I cannot control,
But there,
or something you can control.
that's the thing. I don't know if you know her the same way. And I don't, this isn't the blood talking. This is me.
Well, that's the point. I
If you
won't be able to tell, will I?
know,
I do believe that the connection we had in my home was genuine, but I thought that was genuine. Now it has new light upon it. Does it make me think that you are not genuine? Not necessarily. Does it does not clear up the fact that you said this while someone else's blood was coursing through your body, swaying and controlling mind, perhaps or not. I don't know. I would have to reevaluate what I said, what you said, through the colors of somebody else. Or do you disagree that a blood bond could connect mind and feelings differently?
Sometimes it can.
Exactly. So the game for me is, when is that sometime and when is it not? Do I fail to make sure and to care for you, to be a gentleman to you? No, I've never really done anything else but do that. I've even shared my mind somewhat. However, choices are made, words are spoken. I cannot change those things.
She's at this point she's actively crying. Um, like she has tears streaming down her face. Um,
Yeah, for some reason, almost an unnatural reason, he is not responsive to the crying. He keeps being his plain level of understanding. His his logical mind is definitely uh, having
and
more control than any sort of emotional response.
yeah. Um, she just she she looks at him and she says, "How do I get? How do I get to have both of you?"
He looks at her and then thinks for a moment.
Are you rolling for something or?
No, he's going to respond, and he says, "I think you can't keep the pie and eat it too. I'm not forcing a choice, for it's not me to have to make that choice, nor do I feel that I'm in a position to demand anything. All I can do is what any person could do."
She takes a deep breath that she doesn't need to take. She just looks at him again, like she. I don't know. There's almost like this ache in her face because he's sitting in front of her, and she just wants to touch him, and she doesn't feel like she can anymore.
Uh, he, however, leans forward and dabs her tears away with another handkerchief he
Yeah.
got out of his uh, pocket, his,
Yeah.
and he touches her with care, not with love, but that was never really something that was very easily seen with him. So he does it with care, like he's taking care of someone who is in need of attending, like a gentleman.
Right. She actually she reaches up to touch his hand, but she hesitates and puts her hand back down.
I understand that you will need comforting, especially going through the rough times you're going through right now.
I
I
just
do
want you.
not I do not mind comforting you sometimes.
I just want you to know that it's there for me, and you're. I trust you. I care about you. And I know that even if you feel like you aren't in a position to return that affection, I'll understand. But it's not going to change anything. I opened up my heart to you. I told you things about myself that I haven't talked about in over a century.
He now does lean closer to her and takes her hand, then simply says, "The things that you said are safe. You don't have to worry about that."
I know they're safe, but and I'm acting like she's crying, so like my voice sounds like it's breaking a little bit. Um, and she'll say, "I know they're safe with you, but I don't want them to mean nothing."
He then decides to give her a hug. So that means that from his point, he does what he did before, which was comfort her when she needed it. And he'll give her a hug. He'll actually press her closer to him, slide his chair even closer so their knees could touch.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
he just pulls her into his chest and strokes her hair and says, "The value of words, as they are to you, are not always what they are to others, and vice versa. All I can tell you is I do value the words you said, and I do mean properly. However, this is something that you will have to, I suppose, accept for what it is. They are just words. You have to trust that I'm speaking true. Like I have to trust you when you say that your feelings for me or the connection that we have or had is real to you."
And she'll look at him and she just nods. Like she doesn't trust her voice right now.
He then leans back, he looks into her eyes, and I can see there's still some layers of blood there, but she's not openly crying loudly anymore.
No, she's not. Um, I was. I apologize.
I think the situation is past apologizing. I don't think you have to.
She doesn't. She doesn't say anything to that. She's actually having a really hard time keeping eye contact with him. Not not out of rudeness, but if she looks at him, she's not sure what she's going to do or what she's going to say.
But
And
that's unfortunate because I was about to um, to put my hand on your cheek, rub some blood away with my thumb, and look into your eyes and simply say, "You have given me your trust. I will give you part of what I have to spare."
I think that after a few moments, she will, I think, calm down enough to to be able to look at him again. And I'm gonna pour myself another cup of tea. Give me just one moment. If you want to talk, go ahead.
Right. As she's looking at him, his eyes are. They're not. They're not cold. They are um, with some care. There's care there, but
Mm-hmm.
you're not sure if it's care for her well-being, care for himself, care of decorum. You can just see that he is looking at her and either trying to suppress feelings that he wants to have but can't, or
Mm-hmm.
trying to um, come over as someone who is currently stuck.
Right. What does the aura look like? Since I did get like three successes with that.
Right. Yeah, I'm happy to give you some more information. It of course shifts a little bit
Mm-hmm.
since they're further into the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You can see that his aura is light blue. It's somewhat pink. There's lavender in it. Of course, you can see he's a vampire.
So you said light blue,
Yep,
right?
he's calm.
Light blue, lavender, pink.
Yep,
What
he's
else?
cons- what else? He yeah, he's just
Okay.
um, he's just that. He's they're shifting, but that's because they're conversing. So
Okay.
depending on what she's saying, might change. But currently, that's what she gets.
Okay. Um, all right.
As she looks into her eyes, he is going to try and touch her surface thoughts. He wants to know
Okay.
if he can do anything that would. Uh,
I don't necessarily think that she's in the emotional state to kind of resist that. So go ahead.
all right. Oh boy. Yeah, your willpower is really low, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
I
she's
have I have three nines and a six. I'm drilling to your brain like I'm almost invading it.
okay. So um, all right. So surface thoughts. She's scared for your well being. Um, she's scared that she's going to lose you. She wants to be with you. Um,
In what way? Just in this room, or
just in any capacity that she can be with you.
all right?
Um, she, you can notice that she's not actually focused on thoughts of Fleur right now. It's simply him. Um, like her name doesn't even cross her surface thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so she, like I said, she's scared for his well being. She's scared that she's losing him. Um, she wants to be with him pretty much any capacity that she can be with him, and you can see there's probably um, I'd say desire there. Like whenever she also she's not trusting her voice right now because um, she she doesn't she might not, it seems like she doesn't want to seem weak to him, Like she wants to be perceived as strong and capable,
Hmm.
uh, but in that there is weakness because it's like, yes, I need to be strong. Yes, I need to retain my composure. But this person, it's not necessarily this person is a weakness because that could be rather insulting to some people.
Hmm.
Uh, but she feels safe and vulnerable around him
Right.
because she trusts him.
All right. As he goes into your mind and touches the surface thoughts, and actually, I do feel goes in a little deeper. He understands what his position would be to her
Right.
if he continues, and then now he gets to have a challenge of himself. If he continues and gets closer, then she would feel like she is putting him in more danger. If he does not, if he takes distance, she doesn't have to fear for him anymore, but he will, I wouldn't say break her heart, but he would almost show that he does not care for her.
um, and Toreador are very very emotional, um, naturally.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I know because they're close to humans.
they have they are very close to humanity, and so they're
Yeah,
very very probably, except for Bruja, they're probably some of the most emotional
yep.
kindred out there. And so yes, there's a lot of emotions kind of cycling through her brain right now.
Right, right. I have to look something up. Give me
Okay.
1 second. Scroll like this. So, yeah. So, as he has looked at this particular situation, um, he is going to lean very close to her, like his cheek's gonna touch hers. It's gonna be there for a few seconds, so she can feel connected,
Hmm.
and then he's going to say, "You won't have to worry. There's nothing to be afraid of. I understand you made your choices, and I do believe that people are made the way they are because of their choices. I think you should stick with your original choice and let go of the fear you have and the fear of weakness you feel." Then he'll give her a very soft kiss just next to your ear.
In that moment, when he does that, she kind of shudders a little bit, not out of like disgust, like someone would be like, "Oh God, centipedes," but more like she wants more than that. And the fact that he just did that is kind of like that ache that was on her face. That was what she was wanting. So, and she'll when before he like moves away, she'll, I guess, kind of touch him very softly, um, just to just for the sake of touching him to know that he's actually there.
Right. Well, he leans back. He even pushes his chair back a little. Just gave her a kiss, almost like he's saying goodbye, relieving her of what he believes the tension and worry she might have for his well being. she no longer has to be fearing that they might come after him because of her. He chooses to go back to the nature that he has.
Okay. Uh, she composes. She'll stand up, actually, and
As she stands, he will stand.
she'll. I guess she'll turn away from him, and she sniffles a little bit and wipes the tears that are coming down off her face before she takes a deep breath that she doesn't need to take. And she turns around and she looks um hmm, probably um probably straight faced. Like you can't really, you might not be able to tell the emotions that are going through her mind right now. And she'll say, "Excuse me," and walk out the door.
As she does that, he will, of course, almost click his heels in conservative mention. He will give her a bow and he will say, I wish you a very good day.
Um, I'm sorry, there was one more thing. Do I have your permission to stay in Elysium for the time being?
The Elysia as we have it are open to all and are still concerned through the rules of an Elysium.
Can I sleep here?
Well, we have to make accommodations. Do you have an idea how long you think you will be staying?
Um, just a few nights, I think.
Few nights. For now, for the first night, I will allow it because of the connection that we used to have. After that, I will have to talk to our prince and
Of course,
see if he wants anything for the service in one of his Elysiums.
of course,
And for me bringing this up to him, I will make you a nice price as well.
of course. Thank you, Super Rothschild. And she'll probably go to one of the couches and she'll she pulls Dracula out of her bag and starts reading it.
He follows her towards the couch. Um, his stride is slowed. He's, he's thinking while he does this. He says, if you want to stay here, the couch won't be a place for a lady. Please follow me.
Okay. I see. Hold on one second. I've got something to do. Sorry, I just had to tell somebody something right quick. Anyways, where is he leading her?
He is leading her to one area below the theater
Okay.
where There are, um, if there is, to her knowledge, at least one room where she can be, where she can sleep.
Okay. All right. She'll. Is there like a I don't imagine there's like a bed or
There's a
something.
bed. There is a small fountain to clear your face to clean up.
Okay.
Um, it's there, but mm, it's very non-specific. It's not
Okay.
made specifically for you. It's just a general room. There is a desk. There is one chair. There is a bed. There
Okay.
is a TV.
All right.
It's a very low down hidey hole,
Okay. All
but
right.
it's very Lutheran. It doesn't have a lot of.
It's very simple.
It's extremely simple. It's nothing like she's used to.
Okay. Well, she's had worse. So
And as she goes in there and uh, looks at what she received at least tonight, he will hand her one key card.
a key card
Yep,
for what?
this is a key card for which you can open your own door. It opens no other doors but your door. The front door is always open.
It's a key card to the room.
Yep, there's only one other copy of this card and then some. That's the one I have.
Okay. I appreciate it. Keep your mouth shut. She'll she'll set her bag down on the table. It looks kind of like a maybe a small duffel bag. Um, it looks like it does probably have stuff in it, um, maybe clothes. Um, but she'll set her duffel bag, and her purse down on the table, and she'll hang up.
He will wait till she has the attention to look at him at least once more.
He
Then
will.
he'll bow in respect and say very softly, "I will miss our conversations." And then he'll turn away. He's not waiting for any response. He just needs to get that off his chest somewhat. And she starts walking back up to the more general area.
Um, she closes the door, and